Okay, is it online? Hello. It is. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Frosty, and this is gonna be community news plus Star Battle Sunday. But we're gonna start with community news because they were supposed to be done yesterday, but I'm just a lazy maggot, so I haven't done it. So community news. I have two guests with me today. I'll just say names and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. First guest is Terminus.
Hello guys, yeah, well, this is I think there's nothing to say, but some news together with Frosty, and the second one.
Yeah, the second one is Gin and Juice, also known as Rough Rider, guest from North American servers. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Rough Rider here, also known as Roof Rider. Just here to cast some tourneys with Frosty. We've done it a few times before. Nothing out of the ordinary. Guess that's all.
Okay, so we start community news with a double patch actually, because there were two patches in a very short time, 2.230 and 2.223. And let's start with the older one, 2.223. First thing, there was free-for-all FFA mode introduced. So my thoughts on it, I guess it's really good because of pop games, of pop storms, but on the other hand, I don't see too many people playing free-for-all. What are your thoughts on it? Let's start with our guest from North American servers, Rough Rider.
Well, there are some changes. I mean, it's somewhat interesting for a few. Somewhat, everything will be saying that everybody will be saying that is for the good or is for the bad. Of course, there are always debates, but for the free-for-all mode, I'm not sure what my opinion would be for it, especially for the pub games, since nobody really hosts game anyway. But for the other patches, such as Leviathan, Arbiter changes, Destroyer changes, warp jump changes, clicking a name player for the leaderboard, which I thought was a really nice addition to the patch. I think overall it's getting for the better, but a little bit of just progress, baby steps at a time, What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, Terminus.
The free-for-all mode is kind of not really used, I think. I've seen like 2 or 3 games of that, but, I don't think it's that great. I mean, everyone can say, "Oh, I host a free-for-all game, so I don't get pop stomped," but I don't see anyone really in that. So I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have, but not that much difference.
Got it. Second new thing, very new thing. Rough Rider already mentioned it. Profiles, clickable profiles. You can almost get to all the stats you want from a player. Good or bad, Terminus?
Definitely good. I mean, the stats before were kind of only your name, your rank, and your games played and that stuff. But now it's really detailed. Each ship, the win ratio, all that stuff. You get badges when you win tournaments. You can pick your own rank. That's really awesome. I really want to thank Stato for that.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely is an addition to the game. The profile adding a little more details into the games, I guess, into the profile. Different ships and different numerous wins that are possible. And also, I wish that it will be developed more in the future, so that it may even record your other status. I mean, statistics such as APM. It could add your clan tag, stuff like that. We don't know what will happen in the future, but hopefully it will be utilized more.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. I mean, profiles are very good. They're not only for casting, like I can almost see every stat I need to introduce a player, but if you are playing against a certain player, you can know if he's good or bad and what ship he plays and stuff like this. So definitely something for everyone, not only for us casters.
I kind of ran into a bunch of people who didn't know their profiles like that, so maybe Zedo needs to kind of advertise that on the loading screen or something, because not really is and really everyone is knowing that there are profiles and such stuff. That's
Yeah,
like
not
the
only
only
that.
problem.
Yeah, not only that, I feel like he should advertise major changes, not just into the changes in the forum, but major changes like, profiles, but people can go into the forum, into the changes subforum for the detailed changes such as the arbiter, the storm change, etc. But I think that when it comes to actually advertising, I feel that there's some missing components in the loading screens, such as the YouTube channel, the casting channel. I mean, of course, the casting channel is not yet fully matured, I would say. I think we could do it a little more often during the week. But yeah, definitely Zero needs to utilize the loading screen a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Time to finish this topic because we're running short on time here, and we're just trying to get new topics. So let's go further. Last patch 2.23. Siege mode got buffed. 750 damage. Basic plus 60 per upgrade, which is a definite buff. I mean, it's minus 40, so it's only 20 per upgrade against light units, but it's definitely can be a game changer, and those destroyers can actually start utilizing the siege mode to a greater measure. What do you think, Terminus, this time?
Well, it's great, of course, because the destroyer was kind of dying here. It was replaced by the Leviathan, which can tank and have a lot of damage late game. But now the destroyer is actually pretty awesome because.
Well, I mean, you have different users for the destroyer. I mean, you had armored destroyer and mine destroyer. Now you have siege mode, not only for destroying.
Yeah, and the siege is really great. I mean, you can shut down PDDs, brutes. No one can get close to you, and because you just get a couple of upgrades of the lasers, and you have so much damage. Then you can just get chronobit or something, and it's even more damage. So you can push them really easily.
Yeah, Ruff?
I'm not sure myself because I haven't tested it much, but Destroyer Siege Mode is just another version of Brewlords to me, just because of the fact that it cannot move as swiftly and has really long range with devastating DPS. But the fact is, I mean, I haven't just tested it much. I hope to see some Destroyer Siege Mode in the next tournament, but that'll be all, I think.
Yeah, well, generally siege mode is like you are sieging. It's quite similar to Broodlords, but you are risking your own life when you are sieging. When you deploy Broodlords, they are just sitting there and they are static, and there's absolutely no danger for you staying there. But being in siege mode is definitely more dangerous, and thus I think that's a really good thing that it got buffed. Moving forward, a very small update, but it can do really much. Observers got buffed. Movement speed, life points, shield points. So, what do you think, guys? To be completely honest, last time I've seen an observer in an in-house game, it died like 30 seconds after it was spawned. So. Yeah, maybe this will change something.
I really like the Observer additional changes, but I really think definitely needs more buffs. Definitely, I mean, compared to Radar and Scan, Observer's vision range is so low, and I mean, it's nice that it's invisible and you can just deploy them on the side of the map for possible warp trick or ninja trick, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, seriously, the Observer is a little too much hassle to control in the first place, because it's probably not going to be with your ship like Broodlords, Corruptors, where you have them always around your ship. But Observer is just not going to be utilized as much, I think, in the next tournament. But I hope they do and get buffed.
Well, I think the buffs that you can't destroy that easily are great, but I don't think it's underused. I mean, you can just make it follow your own ship when you have problems controlling it, then clear mines or whatever. And with the new patch, something else was introduced, so you actually don't need it as an anti warp trick unit. You don't need to place it aside you can just scout the enemy. I mean, make it following a void ray or something, so he can't cloak. It's great. You just need to doubt that he's not going back to base, and because the base has well, how it's called, it's getting revealed.
Yeah, it's a good point that you made there about observer following your ship. I guess that's definitely possible for mines, but that's just basically using like a scan,
Yeah, I mean, I think for 100 minerals, it's really great to have an observer, but I think it scales quite bad, because the second one you need like 200 minerals and so on. That's just too much. I think Sedo should fix it so every observer should only cost 100 minerals.
Yeah, plus there's a difference. Remember that the observers in Star Battle need to have their detection activated, not like they are detecting everything all the time. They use energy to detect. So I definitely think it's good that Observer got buffed, but I'm looking forward for more Observer buffs, because they can be really game-changing units. And now costing 100 minerals is okay, as Terminus said, but costing 200, 400, it scales really, really badly. And I think after the first one dies, it becomes pretty much useless.
Yeah, I don't see anyone buying a second one or even a third one, because that's just too expensive.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even see anybody the first one.
Yeah, moving forward. Let's latest patch 2.230, and finally arriving scouts, which is, well, quite a big change. A lot of complaints, so a lot of action going with those scouts. Like on the day of patch, there were like 3-4 upgrades, changes, not upgrades, updates, changes to the scouts, and it's still not balanced. People are complaining that it's still not balanced after almost a week after they were introduced. Gentlemen, your thoughts? Terminus.
Well, at first they were just OP, because you could farm with them and just have the carrier back in the base, and kind of like consummation. But now it's like everyone is complaining they're useless because they can't farm. The weapons against light don't scale with upgrades. But I don't see them as a damage deal. I mean they're scouts, not like DPS ships. So what I think would be great, just buy the ability and then have like 1 or 2 scouts at the corners of the map, or anywhere you think they could possibly flank you. And just have them there. I mean, that's like all you need. You don't need storm.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's
exactly what I was saying. Just spawn 1 or 2 at a time, every, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. Just lay them on the side.
You can just spawn them when you're going back, because then you're not using your energy anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my thought is that, I mean, scouts, I don't think they're much of a game changer, but exactly as Terminus suggested, they're good to have on the side. Maybe 1 or 2. I'm not sure if they're worth upgrading. I have no idea. I haven't tested them yet. But one thing for sure, they're pretty cute.
Well, actually, scouts for scouting measures. I mean, you have radar as a destroyer, you have scan as a battlecruiser, you have an observer as an arbiter. You have a number of abilities that can make you scout incoming flanking moves. So wasting minerals on getting scouts.
I mean, when you have a desert with a radar, of course you don't need it, but sometimes you just don't have that, or you don't have a BC either, and the observer can only be at one side, so...
So you're suggesting that this update is definitely for in-house ship compositions that include mostly carriers and none of those ships, like carriers and Zerg ships, basically, because none of arbiters...
Zerg and Raven, I mean, that's actually a decent composition, like 1 Levy, 2 Guardians, 2 carriers, and a Raven or something. Nothing unusual, and then you can use the scouts to be safe against flanking maneuvers.
Yeah, right.
You misunderstood there a little bit, Frosty. What I meant to say was that just have a spawn a scout or and just leave them on the side for possible attack, not for defense or detecting whatever's on the side, incoming ninja tactics. I'm just saying that we could use the scouts just make surprise attack on those ships. Just a little bit of additional DPS, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And remember that sometimes it happens that 5 ships stay in the middle fighting, and 6 ship is severely damaged, like red, and they let him go back, and they try to defend 5 versus 6. And then when you have scouts, you can easily go around because they have like 2.5 speed, which is a huge amount of speed, and you can try to snipe this ship down.
Or like in the mid game, you just buy the ability and deny the regeneration of a guardian or something. You know, usually the guardians stay behind and deploy broodlords, and this way you can just like get 2 or 3 scouts, get in there, attack him, and go back and repeat that. So he can't regenerate, and it kind of denies broodlords.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing, kind of connected to it, because scouts are in place of electromagnetic storm that Carriers had. Now Storm has been moved to Arbiters, and it's been buffed. It's been severely buffed, and now it deals, I believe, around 1400 damage against massive units. So it's a pretty good nuke actually for a support ship. Like Arbiter is definitely a support ship, and it's got nuke because, well, what can you call an electromagnetic storm? It's a nuke.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nuke.
Ruff?
I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I would like to compare the magnetic storm to the EMP, but the EMP is energy denial skill, also deals 1000 damage, area of effect, whereas the storm deals a little more damage, no energy denial, a little bit more area, but it takes time for all the damage to soak in. So I think it's a decent change, or decent balance, I'd rather say. Maybe right after Vortex has finished and the ships are starting to come out, the storm will be probably utilized to its full potential. I'm not sure if it's strong enough or too weak for an in-house game, but yeah, hopefully this Arbiter change will definitely make the ship more usable.
Well, the thing is that if you are escaping out of a vortex and you have an electromagnetic storm launched at you, it probably will hit with the full power, because you have to be in the range of electromagnetic storm for it to deal damage. So yeah, 3 ships is around 4200 damage. That's like a huge nuke. It's I believe it can be even better than EMP, considering the damage being dealt, but well, still there's no energy denial in it whatsoever. Terminus, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not entirely sure about that. I mean, it's great after the Vortex, as you mentioned, and it's really great if you're retreating, everything is balled up, and you just launch it behind you, so the other ships need to break off or pass it, so they take damage. In that case, it's really good, but otherwise I don't see any useful stuff with it. I mean, you have to stay in the radius for 6 seconds to get the full damage, and I don't know, usually you're not 6 seconds at one spot, so you can only use it after the Vortex, of course, or if you're getting chased.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, if you are getting chased and you are an Arbiter, you have cloaking field, you have force fields, so why would you use Storm?
Well, it depends on if you like having so much energy that you can cloak and launch some storms. It's good, but yeah, usually you're just busy saving like force fields and
yeah, sometimes I see some greedy people that dive in, and like 3 ships in orange already diving in for 1 ship trying to kill it. And it may be useful in this situation. It may be used for farming, just like Carriers used to use electromagnetic storm for farming. But
yeah, but
I don't see too many uses. I mean, Nuke, okay, but you have to stay 6 seconds. It's doable if you know how to launch it. But it's definitely, it's one of those spells like Vortex. To launch a successful Vortex, you have to know where your enemies will be moving. So it's kind of like this with electromagnetic storm. Plus, the Arbiter is definitely a support ship. So if you want some energy if you have some energy to offload, some additional energy, then sure, why not go for electromagnetic storm if you have some additional minerals as well. But on the other hand, in the other situations, I don't really see any use for electromagnetic storm, since well, it's just mixing, mixing genres. It's like making rock with hip hop. You get something, but not everyone likes it, and it's not necessarily the most useful thing in the world. So I think that if you have nothing to do, you can listen to rock and hip hop, but the mix it's not like most people choose hip hop or rock. It's not like it's connected. Okay, moving forward. Two more changes. First change, again, destroyer increased damage of bombardment. So it's like, I guess, 2,500 versus armored targets. Again, good or bad? Terminus.
It's I don't know. I mean, the thing is, bombardment has great damage, but it's over time, and you have to channel it. So in most cases, you slide in anyway if you're not careful, and take some damage. And I don't know. I mean, if you're like sieging them and you just use it on the mothership and all the ships under it, it can be good, but usually you can't use it.
Okay,
It's
rough.
just, it's over time.
This is another storm debate, It's as long as storm, the storm doesn't do as much damage, but I mean, seriously, buff is nice, but this buff shows how much storm needs buff. I mean, seriously, 2005 damage. It used to deal like 2100 or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely storm. I mean, storm is a little cheaper on the energy, It's a little bit more castable, whereas destroyer is not really an energy ship usually. But I definitely think that it was a decent patch, decent buff. But considering storm, definitely different changes need to be made.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like trying to bring some changes to destroyer play. I mean, you haven't seen many siege games. There we go, siege is buffed. You haven't seen too many energy destroyers going for spells. Poof, there we go. Bombardment increased. Maybe some other buffs will follow. So maybe Zedu is trying to change the way we're looking at a destroyer as a no energy ship, just straight armor and just dive in, try to kill, soaking all the damage. Maybe that's what he wants to accomplish by this. And last topic, last thing for the patches, starting with Raw this time, gods. Scorch splash damage was reduced to light units. So like fighters, many people complain that when they are launching, for example, Mutalisks, because usually Scourges are used with plus 20%, it's corruption, I guess, from Leviathans, or they're usually used in Zerg ship compositions. But I want to ask you: is it really that much of a problem? Was it that much of a problem that your fighters were dying when attacking enemy capital ships when you launched Scourges at them, Ruff?
Well, I think it was a decent change, except that for in-house play, Scourges are almost never used.
Yeah.
I think this is another storm and bombardment debate or issue. This is just good after a vortex, maybe, It's not like, killing the farm with Scourge, that might not be a big problem, but I did see that it did a little too much damage to the light units where it just kills everything. Like, Scourge just killed all the light units, like, what else was, Broodlords or Corruptors,
Yeah, because it's splash damage.
Splash. Yeah, but you cannot target the Broodlords or Corruptors. If you're going to deal the same amount of damage to them, why not just make them targetable anyway? You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
individually, the Scourges will go to each Corruptor or like each Broodlord. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a, that's
send
a
them out
really
like
really good point. Terminus, your thoughts?
Well, I don't really think it's changing anything, because who is using Scourges in in-house? If you have a levy, it's just denying all the Scourges in 3 seconds. I don't know what Zeta wants to do with that patch, with that aspect of the patch. In pub games, scorches are kind of powerful, but no one is launching fighters or something anyway, so I don't really think that's like necessary or something. But well, if someone is happy with that, sure, why not?
Okay, gentlemen, we're finishing the patch topic. Second topic, way shorter than patches. European tourney and North American tourney. The European tourney date, well, European tourney hosted by me, hello. But European tourney date has been set. I don't even remember them myself. I have to check them. But it's 15th and 16th of October, so it's in several weeks, like over a month now. People voted so. Your thoughts on the term, because North American tournament has a poll as well, and it's going to be happening 2, 3, 4 weeks later, and I had many people trying to convince me to delay the tournament some more, but then it would collide with North American one, and people don't want to play in both tournaments, and I know that North American people want to play in European tournament and the other way around. So your thoughts on the term of the tournament?
Well, people voted for 24th and 25th September, and I was kind of like, what the fuck, we just had a tournament, and that is just too close, When you have too many tournaments in a very short time, it just kind of overflow. But this way, it's actually pretty good. I mean, the 15th and 16th of, what was it? Well, next month, and then the North American tournament is way later. Yeah, I think that is really good because you have some time to prepare, to talk with people, increase the clans, and whatever. And I think it's good that we have find those dates.
Okay,
so
Ruff?
I'm looking forward to it.
Sure.
I have mixed feelings about having the tournament so set apart. First reason is because of replays. I mean, the later tournament can definitely see the earlier tournament and see what they did and utilize that in their own tournament. Whereas, for my second reason is, people might go inactive during that time. I mean, of course, hopefully that won't happen. But October 15th and 16th for the EU tournament. That's a pretty good date. I don't know how that's going to mix in with the Oktoberfest. November 11th, November 5th and 6th. I'm not sure about that either. It's right after Thanksgiving. Everybody's gonna get fat. They can't click anymore. I don't know. Those are just dumb reasons. But for the set apart dates, I think they definitely need to be closed to a shorter gap, or even on the same dates even. But the problem with that is, the time zone difference, and people want to participate in each other's tournaments also. So I really don't see any solution for it. So I guess I can't really say anything about it much. It's just I'm in between.
Yeah, my thoughts are that people have their own lives, and it's not like we're sitting in front of computer 24/7. Well, some of people are, but most of the community are just normal people. You go to work, or you go to school, you come back and you have spare time, so you sit in front of your computer because that's the best thing that possibly can happen to you, obviously. But you sit in front of computer, you play some games. This time you play Star Battle, and you are in a team, or you are not in a team. You play, it's a little bit more casual than regular StarCraft, like regular ladder, even for the best players here. So I think that some people can't afford to play. I don't want to say that to waste a weekend, but they can't afford to play for the whole weekend and then next week the whole weekend again because there's a second tournament. Families, learning, working. It's sometimes it's kind of different. So some people need just just to breathe, not only play Star Battle, but they need fresh air, they need to breathe, and that's exactly why those terms should be a little bit more split. And last topic for today, gentlemen, tourney expectations, because there were several tourneys played on European servers, on North American servers. Let me remind you that on European servers 2 times Full Sphere won, but some people are not seen online anymore, including me for Full Sphere. But some people like Kovacs, I believe he's playing League of Legends. He was the first leader of Full Sphere and the most important person there. And I believe he was to be called father of Full Sphere's success. And we haven't seen much in the third tournament of Full Sphere because they couldn't make a team, so they mixed with tops. So, and your own team expectations, because Terminus, you're in Supernova, so expectations, all around, who's gonna win, your team expectations and the community expectations. There we go.
That's kind of a difficult question, because last tournament Olden did a really good job getting new people, and maybe we will have some new teams coming up. So we shouldn't underestimate them, but well, I don't know.
Everyone was a newcomer once. I was a newcomer. You were a newcomer. Even Rolf was a newcomer once. However, he's like online forever. When I started playing, I used his guide to getting 4 laces, and then 7 laces, and then 11 laces to farm, which was like a lifetime ago for the Star Battle. So
my expectations, I'm not sure yet. There are definitely new bloods, new teams, like Terminus said. I'm hoping to see more new players, see a little more diversity, maybe. Also diversity of unit composition. I'm really hoping to see that with the new players. As for the the MVP clans such as the Tops, Legacy, etc., I hope they also use some different composition as well. I'm pretty sure we all want to see something different, something unique, and something entertaining. I mean, that's what gaming is all about, and also casting. There are other teams like Scrap Metal, SB Pro, Team Nas, Epic. I think there's also wild cards, and there are also NA teams. I don't even know them.
Yeah, there's Yeoman team, some NA people like Gur and Wildfire's team, and several other people being involved. Plus, there's Full Sphere Tops. Maybe someone will field 2 teams or a mixed team, or there's quite a lot of teams. Just take a look at the TeamSpeak server, like the European and the North American one. There's quite a lot of different teams. Top, Supernova, Full Sphere, Legacy, Infamous, For the Lols, Wolfpack, Team 3 with very famous Admin 6 and Rebellions, Double Destroyer play. Thunderstorm that took part in last tournament. Juice Pirates, German team. Epic, as you've said. So quite a lot of teams, and I expect to see a lot of entertaining action there, casted by me, and not only by me, obviously.
I do hope one of their dog teams come up though, because all the MVPs get all the fame and all the prizes. But I hope one of the teams actually do good and make it to, I don't know, maybe top 4.
Yeah, I usually count on freelancers. Freelancers teams have been doing really good. Last tourney, 3rd place, Exequo, I believe. Second tourney, they were like in 2nd place or in 3rd, 4th. So that's definitely something to look for and something to watch out for when you are a favorite team, to win. But okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just cut it here, and we're gonna start Star Battle Sunday soon. First of all, I want to thank you, Terminus and Eurofrider, for being here and doing this not short video with me.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do this, man.
So, I'm gonna try to do it every week if there will be enough news to actually talk about them, or just short news flash for 10 minutes if there won't be as much news as today, because it was like holy crap, it's like 35 minutes. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing your opinions. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna move on to Star Battle Sunday, and just one more thing. I decided that I'm gonna connect this channel, IBFrosty77, with official Star Battle channel on YouTube, and I'm gonna upload all the videos that appear here to there as well, so they will be there forever to review and to get more viewers, unlimited power. So definitely, that was definitely a very nice experience. That was first one of the series of community news coming to you every week. Once again, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.